Hey, what's up guys? So Escort just released a new firmware update for the Redline 360c. This latest firmware version is 1.9 for the North American version of the Redline 360c, or 1.3 for the international version of the Redline 360c. Now this latest update has two different improvements. The first update is some improved reaction times to strong instant-on radar shots against all different bands of radar. And second, Escort saying we've got some improved CAS rejection or collision avoidance systems, or what we call blind spot falses. Now the update was just released earlier this morning, and I was most curious to see the improvements to the response times because I've been doing some testing on this recently. And so I went out this morning with a bunch of different radar guns to get some updated test results here with this latest firmware update. And I want to go ahead and share with you guys what I found in my testing. Now, quickly before we get to the test results, the improved blind spot filtering that we've got here with the Redline 360c, I don't have any data on that yet. The update literally just came out this morning. I haven't been running it before that. So as we're all kind of running the updated versions of detectors, I'm sure people are going to be posting on the forums their experiences. And if you update your detector and you've been running it for a while, I'll put a link in the video description to where we're all discussing this update, all the test results and experiences, to where you can share your results there too. Now, next, moving on to the improved instant-on response times, let's go ahead and take a look at that next. Now with the previous firmware version 1.8, I wasn't really seeing the fastest results here, to put it nicely, here with the Redline 360c. It was getting beat out by everything, including the R7, the V1 Gen 2, and even some of Escort's other less expensive detectors like the Max 360c, etc. Now doing some updated testing earlier this morning, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing any dramatic improvement with this latest update here either. Let's go ahead and take a look at kind of the differences that we're seeing here and the improvements, if any, with 1.9. Now, starting off with Ka-band testing, back with firmware version 1.8, I was finding the response times against 34.7 on average were anywhere between 0.8 to 1 second or so. Now, after upgrading my Redline 360c to 1.9, I'm actually seeing similar ballpark speeds here with this latest update. The alerts again are still 0.8 to 1 second or so, sometimes faster, but still overall the average I was seeing is 0.8 seconds. Now in my test chart here, I'm only showing 3 different shots. I actually did 7 shots total. I did some earlier testing even before this, but I had some issues with my GoPro falling off the windshield, and so I was reliant more on the audio and listening to the alerts, but it's not great for a video. If we take a look at 7 shots altogether to get some additional sample data, the overall average was 0.76 seconds. So maybe a little bit faster, but still kind of in the same ballpark. Nothing amazingly fast like what we're seeing with some of the other detectors, especially some of the other competition. If we then switch and take a look at 33.8 next, on 33.8, the results here are still pretty slow too. In this situation, the detector is alerting consistently right around 0.9 seconds, so just under a full second to get the alert. Now, I didn't do any testing with the older firmware version against 33.8 to see if we've got any improvements, but either way, the detector is still kind of slow here. Now, that said, if we switch over to 35.5, the detector now gets much more responsive and actually much more in line with what I would be hoping for. 35.5, the detector is much faster, and my overall response times drop to only 0.4 seconds. And at this range, this is much better. So 35.5 is performing a lot better here than 33.8 or 34.7. What about Ka-band testing? Let's go ahead and take a look at that next. Now with the previous firmware version, just to give you a little bit of context, depending on settings and whatnot, the detector would be anywhere from maybe 1.4 to 2.1 seconds or so. And then doing some quick retesting here with firmware version 1.9, the results are actually kind of still here in the same ballpark, about 1.7 to 1.8 seconds. And so right smack in the middle of the range of what I was seeing with the previous firmware version. So again, no real improvement compared to what I was seeing before. And a detector that's taking almost 2 seconds to go off to an alert on Ka-band, that's definitely a lot longer and a lot slower than what I would want. Again, especially considering the fact that the Redline 360c is a high-end detector. I would definitely like to be seeing faster response times than 1.7 to 1.8 seconds or so. And so with this latest update, I think the response times here on 35.5 are actually much better. I didn't do any testing with the previous version on 35.5, but with 1.9 here with this latest update, the detector seems to be doing a good job on 35.5. I'm just still not that happy with 33.8 or 34.7 or Ka-band for that matter either. And so I'm glad that Escort is continuing to work here on improving the response times on the Redline 360c. And I know they said there's some improvements here on all bands, but testing all the different bands, maybe with the exception of X-band, I'm still not seeing a very fast and responsive detector here, unfortunately. And now, again, the other update that Escort has mentioned is improved blind spot filtering. I haven't done any testing yet with that, and I'm sure as people get their detectors updated, we're all going to be posting our overall thoughts and impressions on the forum. So once you get your detector updated, I'll again have a link in the video description to where you can go and share your experiences as well, and so we can all learn together. And then finally, if you want to go ahead and get your detector updated, again, the process is just like any other update. You can update your detector over Wi-Fi when it prompts you for an update, or you can just download Escort detector tools to your computer, plug your detector into your computer, and it takes a couple seconds or so and updates your detector for you that way. And so anyway, yeah, that's just a quick look here as far as this latest update here, firmware version 1.9 for the Redline 360c. Thanks so much for watching. Hope this is helpful. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.